All right, let's jump right into it. Welcome to the Explainer. If you've been frantically Googling store hours, wondering if your bus is actually running, or trying to figure out if you even get paid for working this holiday, well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're taking all those scattered schedules, municipal bylaws, and endless event listings from across the country, and we're synthesizing them into one essential master cheat sheet for July 1st, 2026. So right off the bat, we're facing what I like to call the Wednesday dilemma. Because Canada Day lands squarely on a Wednesday this year, there's absolutely no automatic long weekend. No lazy Monday, no early exit Friday. Nope, instead we get this jarring single-day holiday dropped right into the absolute middle of the work week. And honestly, it completely changes how everyone operates, from major, massive retailers right down to your local transit.
But, there's a highly unique reality for our viewers in Quebec. While most of the country is busy mapping out their barbecue menus and scouting fireworks spots, Montreal is doing double duty. July 1st is actually the province's traditional annual moving day. So instead of firing up the grill, a huge chunk of the city is hauling heavy boxes, sweating through the humidity, and trying to navigate packed streets. It is quite the scene.
Okay, here's our game plan for today. We'll hit nationwide shutdowns, then essentials and transit, followed by the provincial liquor breakdown, and finally, city celebrations. Let's get into it.
Starting off with Section 1, nationwide shutdowns and closures.
The absolute crucial thing to remember here is that federal and financial institutions literally do not care that it's a Wednesday. Bank branches are completely shuttered coast to coast, meaning you are relying strictly on ATMs and online banking. Canada Post halts all mail delivery. And government offices, whether you're talking Service Canada, Revenue Quebec, or Alberta registry locations, they are completely closed down for the day. Don't even bother making the trip.
And here is one of the most common holiday heartbreaks for shoppers. Every single Costco warehouse in Canada, and yes, that includes the gas stations and the food courts, is closed. You literally cannot make a morning run for bulk hot dogs or last-minute barbecue supplies. The only loophole here is Costco.ca, which is open 24/7, though you'll obviously have to accept delayed shipping because, well, it's a holiday.
Now you might be wondering, why are stores so incredibly strict about shutting their doors? Well, $50,000. Under Ontario's Retail Business Holidays Act, for example, that is the maximum potential fine a retail outlet can face for illegally opening on Canada Day. And honestly, it can actually go even higher if their total gross sales for the holiday exceed that amount. Municipalities absolutely enforce this, so major retailers simply do not take the risk.
Moving on to Section 2, Essentials in Transit.
So there's this massive disconnect that always trips people up. The calendar clearly says Wednesday, but your transit system, it operates like it's Sunday. Major networks like the TTC in Toronto, Calgary Transit, and TransLink in Vancouver are all scaling way back to much slower Sunday or holiday schedules. In Calgary, for instance, they're actually offering a free shuttle connecting Eau Claire and the East Village. But your regular everyday commuter route? Yeah, that's going to require a lot more patience. But hey, if you forgot the ketchup, do not panic. Most pharmacies and major grocery chains, think Superstore, Save on Foods, and Walmart, they do operate just on adjusted holiday hours. But your true heroes today? The local lifelines. Rabifine Foods is open 24/7 in Toronto, 7-Eleven is totally ready for you in Vancouver, and in Montreal, public markets like Atwater and Jean Talon are open to supply fresh goods even amid all that moving day chaos.
All right, Section 3, the provincial liquor breakdown.
There is a really drastic contrast across the country when it comes to celebrating with a drink. In Alberta, liquor retail is privatized, meaning the province's 1,600-plus independently owned stores are largely open and ready to serve you. Jump over to Quebec, though, and the provincially run SAQ and SQDC are totally closed down. And then there's Ontario. Ontario exists in this strange, somewhat confusing middle ground where the government-run LCBO is closed, but there is one major exception you can leverage. That exception is the beer store. As VP of Retail Ozzy Ahmed perfectly puts it, they have everything you need to celebrate with family and friends. Over 100 beer store locations across Ontario are stepping up as a massive lifeline, actually opening their doors from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And not only can you pick up cold beverages, but they are also accepting empties for deposit refund, which is super handy.
Which brings us to Section 4, City Events and Fireworks. First up, let's ask the big question. What's happening in Alberta? This is a province where the energy of a Wednesday holiday just refuses to be contained and actually bleeds right straight into the upcoming weekend.
Calgary's essentially treating Canada Day as one massive pre-party for the Calgary Stampede, which kicks off that Friday. You've got fireworks launching from Stampede Park right at 11 p.m. For the daytime crowd, Heritage Park has an incredible citizenship ceremony, and Spruce Meadows is actually hosting a free Brett Kissel concert. Up in Edmonton, you can catch their 11 p.m. fireworks at Kinsman Park, or maybe take a really brilliant Canada Day cruise on the Edmonton Riverboat along the North Saskatchewan River.
Moving westward. What if you're looking for things to do under the sun in Vancouver?
Well, Vancouver really leans into its natural beauty and major attractions on holidays. The Granville Island Public Market is open, right alongside all the city's gorgeous parks and beaches. If you want some indoor activities, you're covered too. The Vancouver Aquarium and Science World are fully operational. And for the shoppers out there, you actually have options. Pacific Center is open all the way until 9 p.m., and Metrotown is open until 7 p.m.
Bouncing all the way back east, let's look at Toronto. The Greater Toronto Area is massive, and honestly, figuring out what is actually operating can feel a bit like a maze.
So there is a very important split here, specifically when it comes to retail. Tourist-heavy malls that fall into designated tourist zones like the Eaton Centre and Square One are wide open, but standard massive shopping hubs like Yorkdale, Sherway Gardens, and Scarborough Town Centre, fully shuttered. If you want attractions, though, you are totally in luck. Canada's Wonderland is open for a full 12 hours, and staples like the CN Tower, the ROM, the AGO, and the Toronto Zoo are entirely ready for the holiday crowds.
Now, what if you were one of the people stuck working this Wednesday? Let's talk about holiday pay, using Alberta's Employment Standards Code as a really great benchmark. Generally speaking, you need to have worked your scheduled shifts immediately before and after the holiday. If you meet that criteria and you have the day off, you get your average daily wage. But if you actually have to punch the clock, your employer must pay you 1.5 times your regular wage plus your average wage, or give you your regular pay plus a future paid day off. Definitely make sure you know your provincial rights.
Which brings us to our final and perhaps most important question of the explainer. The calendar gave us a seriously awkward Wednesday interruption, but are you bold enough to spend 2 precious vacation days to bridge that Thursday and Friday gap? Because if you do, you instantly transform a midweek hiccup into a massive, strategic 5-day summer vacation. It's a bold move for sure, but after reviewing all these schedules and closures, it might just be the absolute smartest play of the year. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, guys. Have a safe and incredible Canada Day.